Hey guys, this is David McDarby, and I'm back for another Versus video. Today I'll be playing against Kenny Caster, and he'll be playing Jund. And today I'll be playing Esper Control-ish deck. I wanted to skip the middleman and go straight to winning the game, so why not play a card that says win the game? And so I chose Battle of Wits. Right now, with the release of M14, we have the most playable cards in Standard we'll have for a while. So you have all these weird interactions and these crossover of cards that allow you to play a lot of cards in your deck. So I thought I would try that. And I always told myself I do better as the number of cards in my deck go up, so I just went to the maximum, close to it. Let's take a look at the deck. The deck size is 240 cards, which is 60 times 4. So that lets you just think of all these 4-ofs can be 1-of. So it's kind of like playing Commander. So here is the win condition, the main one, Battle of Wits. What actually stirred me to play this card was the printing of Diabolic Tutor. Since now we have this tutor, and this tutor, you're effectively playing a 4-of Battle of Wits, sort of, that takes you an extra turn to find. But that's why I want to try this now, while the stars are aligned and everything is right. So this is our main win condition, our 16 cards. I guess we can just take a look at the creatures. The creatures are over here. We just have hard to kill guys in these two, things to not die, things to copy guys, and Snapcaster Mage, which is pretty much a removal spell. Interesting thing about Evil Twin now, he doesn't kill legends anymore. So you actually will have to use his ability to kill opposing creatures like Olivia if they don't have 5 mana, which they might actually most of the time. And other guys have hexproof like Geist or Sigarda, but you can still block them, right? But anyway, he's mainly there for Thragtusk, let's be real. So there are the creatures. I don't want a whole lot of creatures with this kind of deck. Then we'll get to the card draw. We have the Revelation, Alchemy, Think Twices. I only have 2 Azorius turns because I am playing a total of like 56 or so basic lands, and 36 of them are 20 of them are swamps. So it's kind of hard to cast this card early on. So I only wanted 2 of it, and this rest just the card draw to find my Battle of Wits with my card draw. I'm not playing Thoughtscour because I don't really want to be milling myself, because I do need to not use 41 cards in my library, and most decks in this format actually use their graveyard, so I didn't want that card. Now we have the sweet part. We have 20 Planeswalkers, the full 8 Jace. That should make anybody happy, especially me. And then we've got Tamiyo, Sorin, Liliana. Liliana is actually the hardest card to cast in the deck, but I figured her power level is so great that I could take that chance. And I'm sure I'll open up on hands on playing Shimmering Grotto Island. But, you know, you have 240 cards. What are you going to do? So speaking of mana, here's my mana ramp / fixing. I've got 16 3-mana ramp spells, which turn out to be like a 4-of. So like 4 Farseeks, except they cost 3 mana. But this kind of deck, I'm especially paranoid in not getting my colors, because I actually can have a hand of plains and swamps and have Battle of Wits in my hand and not be able to cast the actual card that wins the game, and I just die. So I wanted to make sure I had a lot of mana ramp, and this is Prophetic Prism. It's kind of weird, but it does fix my mana and cantrips. But this does allow to me have a nut draw of turn 3 ramp spell, turn 4 Battle of Wits, and a nut draw is always something important to have in any deck in Magic the Gathering. So this is this part over here. Let's go over here. This is the removal side of the table. I've got 4 Supreme Verdict and 2 Merciless Eviction, which are like worse Supreme Verdicts. Then I've got 4 Terminus. Yes, I have a Miracle in this deck. So from the top, I'll be reaching up and see if I hit the Miracle. The other Miracle is Temporal Mastery. I didn't think it would be all that good, as I want to end the game, hopefully just by doing this. And I don't want to cast Devastation Tide and bounce my ramp spells or whatnot. So there's that. I've got these 20 sacrifice effects. So I'm actually fairly decently matched up against Bant Hexproof, because I have all these sacrifice effects and these wraths. But, you know, despite me treating every 4 as a 1-of, there are times when I can draw half a card when I'm doing this. Or I'll draw, you know, 18 removal spells and no creatures or win conditions. That's going to happen when you have 240 cards in your deck. But those are the sacrifice effects. I've got Doomblade, the other new addition from M14. And I've got the counter spells. I didn't want Dissipate because, like I said, blue is hard to cast, so I had a couple of Psychic Strikes, which thankfully doesn't mill me because I need the cards in my library. So we've got removal, creatures, card draw, planeswalkers, winning condition, and here are my tutor targets. These are the 4 targets that I might need to tutor up or happily draw to protect my Battle of Wits. The Dissipate is in case I'm playing against a control deck and I want to Diabolic Revelation or Increasing Ambition for the Dispel to protect my Battle of Wits when I cast it. The Pithing Needle, this is for planeswalkers like Vraska, that could blow up my Battle Wits or other things, but this also can just actually stop all Planeswalkers and can hit like a Kessig Wolf run or something. It's just a good card to have, and when you're running a fourth of it, like in this kind of deck, you can think of a one of as a 1/4 of one of in a normal 60 card deck where same people play. I'm not going to draw it all that much, so probably won't be dead a whole lot. Elixir of Immortality, this is for in case I do use up 41 cards in my deck, so this doesn't actually win the game. Also, in case I go up against Nephalia Drownyards, which is probably my best matchup, I do want this to have a way to not die to their Drownyard and not win this way. I'd have to win the old-fashioned way by attacking, which I'm not really all that interested in. And this Face Shield, this one of, is really good for protecting my Battle Wits against Acidic Slime, or a Detention Sphere, Oblivion Ring from other control decks, or against Vraska if they want to blow it up, or just anything. It lets me just have that 1 mana protection, and I just figure I would want this to tutor for as well. So there you see the non-lands deck of my Battle of Wits deck. It's quite a bit. It's a little bit to take in, but honestly, I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and this does look like a lot of fun, and I just want to pursue some knowledge. So there's that. I guess we can go take a look at the sideboard and our lands. And here we are with the lands and the sideboard cards. So for dual lands, we have the full 36. Yes, you don't often hear that, but we have the full 36 dual lands. Shocks, Happy Buddy, M12, M10, M14, We'll Miss You Glacial Fortress lands. And then the Guildgates. What's wrong with some Coastal Towers? I'll take what I can get. So after those, we have the fake dual lands. We have Evolving Wilds, Transguild Promenade, Return to Ravnica Limited All-Star, and Shimmering Grotto. This one is kind of loose because I can't cast my spells early, but I'm just paranoid of not being able to cast my black on turn 1, blue white on turn 4, and blue on turn 5. But what are you going to do? And then 2 Vault of the Archangel. I didn't want it as a 4 of, like I said before, I'm paranoid. And like I said before, I'm running 240 cards, so I took 26 lands times 4, and you'll have 104. So I have 104 lands total. So this is like running a half of Vault of the Archangel, which I'm okay with. And for basics, I've got 54 basics, 20, 18, 16. And there's our mana base. The deck is about half mana with the 26 lands and 4 3-drop ramp spells. But whatever. We have a lot of fluff, but we have a card that says win the game. So who cares? We'll win the game. Here's our sideboard. For this kind of sideboard, you don't really want one ofs. They're kind of hard to find. So I just went with 3 4-ofs. Rest in peace for graveyard decks. I didn't want to main deck it because it actually doesn't do anything to help me win the game through battling. So that's in the sideboard. And then we have 8 spells for decks without a lot of creatures. As you might have noticed, I have a lot of ways, more than pretty much every deck out there to kill creature. So I wanted some spells that deal with non-creatures and protect my Battle of Wits against other decks that aren't so creature-laden. And here I have 3 more 1-ofs for the same decks I want these 8 in. More protection, Psychic Spiral, which if they happen to mill my Elixir of Immortality, I can still win by just killing them with this, as I could have 240 cards, 200 and some cards in my graveyard, so hopefully they're not playing the mirror, and I can give them a Psychic Spiral. And we have 1 Reap Intellect, just another spell that's good against control decks. So there you have the sideboard and the mana base. We'll be playing against Jund. Game 1's against Jund as the control deck. You're generally favored, but games 2 and 3, they've got more ways to hurt your non-creatures as opposed to hurting your creatures. So we'll see how it goes. Let's pray I don't get slaughter games, but you know, he's got to do it. It's his card, it's his spell. So we'll be right back from battling. Thanks for watching this weird deck tech.